Your left, Courtland Strodl is on your right. It's White Red Humans and Bant Humans. Round number 12 about to begin. Gindy with the Battlefield Forge down to 19, and he's thinking Town Gossipmonger to start. Now, the Bant Humans deck really started to surface, at Grand Prix Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's really trying to leverage a lot of the human synergies,
yes,
while still playing some of the more powerful spells like Dromoka's Command and Collected Company.
Yeah, it is really kind of a Collected Company-centric deck. It's kind of trying to do both things. I know that you played Bant Company at the Season 1 Invitational, and your creature types didn't matter. You were just playing good creatures in your deck. This one actually cares about the creature types because of some of the cards you can hit, like Thalia's Lieutenant, but you also get Collected Company, as you mentioned, the commands and Ochitais and Dromokas.
Yep.
So good stuff going on there.
The one issue you have when you do that is this deck really stresses its mana base.
Yes. You are 3 colors.
Yep.
You have to play Evolving Wilds. You need your Prairie Streams and Canopy Vistas and the Battlefield untapped on time, as here's a Plains from Strodl. And it looks like maybe a Duskwatch Recruiter, perhaps. You see Gindy reaching for the Town Gossipmonger because he knows he's transforming it. So there you go. And it does have a counter on it because of the Thalia's Lieutenant. So Insighted Rabble is here as Gindy heads to his 3rd turn.
Maybe this is the best red card in Standard?
What about Absent the Purifier?
Yeah,
maybe it's that one.
Yeah.
Boy, is red bad. Jeez. It is horrible. It is really, really bad.
Yeah, it feels bad for the red mages of the world.
It does.
But we see people like Tom Ross just transitioning to the white cards.
Yeah, it is horrific.
And this is a start right here.
Yes,
Jeez.
it is. We got a Kithian that's going to pump up the Thalia's Lieutenant, Grispoon on the Thalia's Lieutenant as well, so now flying. And I don't know if you knew this, Craig, but flying is good in Constructed.
How about big creatures for 1 mana?
Also good. Also good. As Insider Rabble's coming across in the red zone. Now, for Strodl, I'd recommend a blue source of mana if he has one for the Reflector Mage in his hand to kind of slow down this beatdown. I don't know if what he's got. Is that an Evolving Wilds?
Looks like an Evolving
Wilds.
Wilds.
Oh, dear. Well, Duskwatch Recruiter will get to transform. That's nice.
Is it?
Sure, it's dead, but it's nice.
Yeah. Is that nice? Because he's taking a boatload of damage. Kithian's transforming.
Yep.
And this just shows you can't stumble even a little bit against these white-red human decks.
Red in quotes?
Yeah.
Yes. But you're missing what's important. Courtland has a clue. He was given a clue.
That's true.
And he'll be able to sacrifice that clue to draw a card.
Yeah, and I'm sure whatever he draws, they'll just put him right back in this game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, now you're looking at things the way that you're supposed to. He did not sacrifice the clue, unfortunately. I would have recommended him to sacrifice the clue there.
Yeah.
If I was in his spot.
Probably doesn't make a difference one way or the other.
I think it's unlikely. Now, 4th land, and unfortunately for Courtland, nothing to do with the mana, so he's just going to pass the turn back to Charles. I'm sure Charles will not play around Collected Company at all here because he's not going to see that coming. Gindy's going to tap 2 mana. Maybe another Lieutenant, perhaps. No, it'll be a Knight of the White Orchid. Trigger on the Lieutenant. That means it's going to get a little bit bigger. He's also going to get a land.
I like these lands. Those are portal lands?
I believe those are portal plains, yes.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful plains. Now, you can learn a lot about a player based off the lands they play.
Yes.
You see Charles Gindy here, his land's very nice. Joe Lissette, most disgusting lands in the world.
He plays the White Border 5th edition or whatever?
Yeah, horrible. Love Joe to death, but, it's unacceptable. Insighted Rabble, Gideon, and the Thalia's Lieutenant are coming across. Collected Company here from Strodl. He's going to find at least 1 Reflector Mage. He's going to do a little bit better than that, though. The thing about Reflector Mage, as good as it is, it's bouncing something right now. Its power and toughness are just outclassed.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Courtland is so far behind at this point in the game.
He doesn't have time for tireless tracker shenanigans and stuff like that. Thalia's Lieutenant is nice because it makes it so the Reflector Mage gets a little bigger, but these creatures are they're enormous already.
Yeah. 1 mana 3/4. 2 mana 5/4 flyer. And a 1 mana planeswalker there.
Yeah. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. So Thalia's Lieutenant's going to be returned. Grispoon will go to the graveyard. Some blocks will take place. I think these are just blocks to keep Strodl alive.
Sure.
I don't think these are actually going to do anything too relevant. I suppose the Reflector Mage will stay alive because it's a 3/4, as is the Insighted Rabble, as we head back Strodl's way. Drew another copy of Collected Company. It's going to have to be running Collected Companies, and they're going to have to be good ones for him to get back into this.
Well, and Charles just has that Griff Spoon hanging out in the graveyard to continue being a problem.
Yep. For Strodl, it's an Evolving Wilds. Pass it back.
He's at 6.
I know. Not a lot of life to work with. He had Gindy's way. Thought Lieutenant the draw.
Well, yeah.
That's a good Magic card.
Yeah.
See how Gindy wants to navigate this turn. He does have a copy of Always Watching, 2 copies of Thalia's Lieutenant in hand. Pretty good board. Getting Battle Forged that he can still use. See Strodl shortcutting a little bit, searching up a Plains with the Evolving Wilds. Get that out of the way. We know a Collected Company is going to be coming here in just a moment.
Well, and he looked at so many creatures with his first collected company. Probably has some interest in shuffling those back into the deck.
Yeah.
Hearings for round 4 have been posted online. The judges are making their way.
It's going to activate the Gideon. Now here's Thalia's Lieutenant. I remember Reflector Mage. Yeah.
Courtland wants to get in on that action.
Yeah. Well, he's pointing at Reflector Mage and saying you can't cast this, but as we take a look at Reflector Mage, it's a little bit weird when you hit it on Collected Company on the turn that you hit it.
Yeah.
It says that you can't cast it. That creature's owner can't cast spells with the same name as that creature until your next turn.
Yes, and he's already taken his next turn.
Correct.
Yep.
So now Kithion's going to come down, and now here come the beatdowns. Collected Company yet again. Top 6 cards, now the White Orchid in there, a couple of lands, maybe 2 mini lands, 3 Inspector as well. These creatures are just too small,
Yeah,
man.
This is...
They're just too small.
Just too small.
Second clue.
Yep.
Now, I know you're a little bit disappointed that,
Yeah.
you didn't get to be the clue.
Do we have other clue tokens
We
could
don't.
be using?
We only have maxes, unfortunately. But in situations like this, where you're getting your teeth kicked in, you don't get to crack the clue, are you still unhappy that you don't get to be the clue?
Yeah, Max just gets to sit around on the board that much longer.
That's true. All right. All right. Yeah, I know it could be you, but Max's clue is just going to sit there for a long time.
Yeah, he's got the little lamp automaton on his shoulder, just helping him out.
Please activate me. Another Reflector Mage here in Strodl's hand. All kidding aside, is he able to make some sort of comeback here? I think it's a little too much to do.
Yeah, he's so far behind.
Yeah. He's looking at Thalia's Lieutenant, another Reflector Mage over there. I don't think there's a third copy of Collected Company, unfortunately. And again, the Collected Company would have to be perfect for it to matter.
Yeah, I wish there was more to say about this game, but we saw, the turn 2 2-2 out of Courtland.
Mm-hmm.
Turn 3, you had to take the turn off because you had Evolving Wilds. And that was just kind of it.
Yeah, it really was. Inside of Rabble has shown up yet again. And Gindy will draw.
It looked like a great draw for Gindy.
I don't know if he needs anything else. He's got another Thalia's Lieutenant, I think. He's going to pump up. He's going to activate Gideon, now plays Thalia's Lieutenant. There might be a response, perhaps an Ojutai's Command. Curious how much Ojutai's Command gets done here. I mean, counter gain 4 life is okay, but I don't think good enough. I'm not sure if there's anything relevant to return.
Players in Commander Pod number 9. Commander Pod number 9.
So here's a situation. Here's a question.
Well, gaining 4 and returning a creature are very similar.
Yeah, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got to counter the creature. That's what he's going to do. He's going to counter. I think he's looking at the graveyard. I forgot what other mode he wants to select. I think it's very unlikely that Courtland's able to win this game.
Yeah.
You want to show the Ojutai's Command, Craig?
Probably not.
No?
He's in such a deep hole here. His path to victory, I mean, even running a Reflector Mages just buys him a little time. It doesn't actually solve any problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, probably don't show him that card.
Yeah?
And we've got some mixed up dice here.
It's
There we go.
It's a dice party.
Black and white and black.
Yeah. I wonder if Gindy's going to attack. Here's a Dragon Hunter. Pump up Thalia's Lieutenant. Inside of Rabbles have to attack. The question now is just, can Gindy cross the finish line and get the job done? Reflector Mage over there for Strodl is a 5-6. Thalia's Lieutenant is a 3-3. The one without any counters is a 1-1. Yeah, I think he's clear for takeoff.
Well, and like we said earlier, he still has that Griff Spoon hanging out in the graveyard.
Yeah, that's really true. Cannot forget about that. There's some blockers. Damage is going to come through. Some exchanges will be made. Kithian is forced to transform, but Gindy says, I want to keep that one around.
Yeah.
So he'll lose his Kithian, even though it got him some points of damage. And I think that'll be it for Charles' turn. Now, the thing that you keep mentioning, and I think it's smart, because Courtland has a real problem with it, is the Griff Spoon in the graveyard.
Yeah.
If Gindy at any point draws a 4th land, Gindy probably just ends on the spot.
Yes.
He's already in a good spot.
Well, and if he's not drawing a 4th land, it means he's just drawing more creatures.
Yeah. So that's the real problem here. Strodl thinking Reflector Mage. Goodbye, Incited Rabble. Hello, Tireless Tracker. Head back over to Charles Gindy.
I wonder if he should have bounced the 2-1.
The Dragon Hunter?
Yeah, and then used his big Reflector Mage to attack the Planeswalker.
Perhaps. Finish Gideon off.
Yeah, and then he can double block that Incited Rabble, and at least the Gideon's not on the board anymore.
Knight of the White Orchid is here. That's land number 4. That's what he's looking for that Griff Spoon that's in the graveyard. The follow-up is Town Gossip Monger. Gideon is going to go up.
Yeah, so he's going to force that Reflector Mage to attack, which is going to get it out of the way next turn.
Yeah. Gideon's a real jerk. He's a bully. He attacks people. He makes you attack him.
Yeah, he's in charge.
Yeah, just not a nice guy.
I mean, if you pay 6 or 7 mana for your Planeswalker, you expect it to be in charge of the board.
You would certainly hope so, that's for sure.
And we saw how much Charles had to invest in this expensive Planeswalker, a whole 1 mana.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Going to crack another clue here. Will Courtland, and he knows he's dead to Griff Spoon, so he's going to concede the game. Charles Gindy going to win game number 1 here over Courtland Strodl. White-Red Humans up a game here over Bant Humans, and one of the problems here for the Bant Humans deck is that it's just very soft to flying.
Yeah.
There's just really not a lot he can do about that, unfortunately. So we take a look at the sideboard, see if there's some help in the sideboards here for Courtland Strodl, and we'll see 3 Dead Protector, 3 Negates, 3 Gideon Allies, Zendikar, 2 Declaration of Stone, 2 Tragic Arrogance, and 2 Nissa Vastwoods here. You got to at least like Tragic Arrogance here.
Yeah, the Declaration of Stones and the Tragic Arrogance are going to make sure the game doesn't get too out of control.
Yeah, we saw the first game. This is just what, if Humans operates like that, it's not going to lose.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen very often.
Well, and the Banned Humans deck just not impactful enough on the first 3 turns.
Yeah, it's slow out of the gate.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this deck. I understand that, if you get into a little bit later game, you're against another mid-range deck, maybe against like green-white tokens. That's okay. I think in this matchup, it's just not acceptable.
Well, it's not always super slow. He does have Lambhole Pacifist in the main deck, which is a great blocker. He's got, obviously, the main deck Reflector Mages, but he just didn't have that start to that game.
On the other side here for Gindy, a sideboard we've gone over a time or two.
Oh, yeah.
4 Needle Spires, 4 Reckless Bushwhacker, 2 Stasis Snare, 2 Gideon Allies, Zendikar, a Secure the Waste, a Silk Wrap, and a Griff Spoon. It's the same 15 that Tom Ross is playing. How do you like these cards?
I don't think Charles is going to want to make a whole ton of changes. It's potentially wants to go bigger in game 2 on the draw because he knows that he's going to be playing from behind and he needs a more powerful strategy.
Okay.
But if it goes to game 3, I expect him to go back to the low to the ground, all 1-drops, swarm the opponent, and try to kill him before the Tragic Arrogance comes online.
Reasonable approach to take. We'll see how these players do sideboard up as they're already shuffling. So we'll very quickly talk about our newest invitational winner token. That is Max McVitie. This is not a dagger for you. This is just this is just in the roll call of things I have to go over.
I'm sure.
It is. I am. It's in my contract. I have to do this.
Listen, Max earned every bit of this token. Congratulations to him. I think it came out pretty awesome.
I think it looks awesome.
I'm very jealous.
You do see Max McVitie, our Season 1 Invitational Champion at our Columbus Invitational Weekend. He'll be headed to our Player Championship. You want to get this clue token. All open participants will get it. All Classic participants will get it as well at an SCG Tour Weekend. And in all orders from StarCityGames.com beginning May 13th, a little while ago, at noon East Coast time. $5 minimum order on that. Get yourself some clue tokens for those Declaration in Stones, those tireless trackers. What's that artifact that makes those clue? Tamio's Journal?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Yep, that's seeing a lot of constructed play right now.
Could be a good sideboard card. All right? Could be a good sideboard
Since
card.
the format's so slow.
Well, maybe, we see Charles Gindy a little bit more. Perhaps we'll have to make a Charles Gindy player slide. He's got a lot of accomplishments on his resume, man.
Sure, we could talk to him about getting his face out there a little more.
Yeah, he might be making a comeback. I'd like to see Charles Gindy back in competitive Magic. He's one of the very best. He really is. He's been really good from a really young age, too. I think about Grand Prix Washington, D.C. 2004.
Yeah, he was young back in the day.
And his team won that tournament, right?
Oh, geez.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, they beat Shenanigans in the finals. It was him.
Yeah, you're right.
It was him, Chris Fennell, who many people know now, and I believe Bill Stead
Okay.
was the third there on that team.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah, you see this young, he's still got the baby face, but
He does.
Still, young 16, 17-year-old kid who, by the way, was leading the Rochester draft for his team, saying, you take this, I take this, all this stuff. And it's like, who are you?
Rochester draft, what's that?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. Haven't done one of those in 10 years. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore.
I'm old. That's horrifying. Last one I did was 2005 during college.
And players used to participate in 3-on-3 no rake tournaments.
Yeah.
Drafts.
Yeah. Rochester drafts? Ugh.
Doesn't happen anymore
It takes
either.
so long.
Oh, Rochester draft took all day.
They're pretty fun, though.
They were a
Actually,
blast,
yeah.
but it took all day.
Yeah. Both these players take a look at their opening hands. Courtland will be on the play. Charles on the draw. See if Courtland can find a hand that he likes.
The best part about the Rochester draft is when someone was having a bad draft,
Okay.
you just got to watch it unfold. They're switching colors for the third time, and they're visibly frustrated, and you've seen every just mediocre pick go into their pile.
Yeah. They can't do it. They can't hide the frustration.
Yeah.
And they also can't hide how bad their deck is.
Yes.
There's nothing you can do. Players going to keep their opening hands. A Fortified Village is where Courtland will start for Gindy. No one drop. Interesting. There's Lambhole Pacifist.
No one drop's probably fine if he sideboarded in his slower version of the deck.
The Hanover Militia Captain is here. For Courtland, Dramoka's command says, get rid of that. Give my Lambhole Pacifist a counter. Get you for 4.
All right, and this is a fine start.
Absolutely it is. For Gindy, and always watching. Here's Knight of the White Orchid. And there's a plane, so shortcut a little bit. And now there's a Thais Lieutenant. So the Knight will become a 3/3 first striker. Can't really tussle with that Lambhole Pacifist yet, though.
I do like those planes.
Those planes are great.
Yeah, where can I get my hands on some of those? Probably not available anywhere.
No. I can't think of anywhere you can get those.
Only there was a big online retailer. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'll have to figure it out during the break.
Okay.
See what I can do. Dramoka's Command, Lambhole Pacifist, Reflector Mage. Only one source of green mana right now for Courtland.
Yep.
But it's definitely a good hand. Oceanize Command over there as well.
Yeah, like I said, the Ban Humans deck, by trying to play all these powerful synergies, losing out a little bit on its mana base.
Here's an attack for 4, Gindy down to 12.
It has Thraben Inspector on turn 1. It has potentially Knight of the White Orchid on turn 2. Green spells, blue spells. It's not easy.
Dramoka's Command will take care of Knight of the White Orchid. And now we head back at Gindy's way as Gindy is at 11 now. A Plains, a Silk Wrap, any follow-ups, and always watching. And for 2,
All right.
Strodl will fall down to 18. That Dramoka's Command felt a little premature to me.
Yeah, it was very aggressive. He already had a pretty big creature on the board.
It doesn't feel like he really was concerned with the 3/3 Knight at that stage.
Yeah, exactly.
You see Reflector Mage is going to take care of Thalia's Lieutenant for Gindy. and Anointer of Champions. Looks like a Griff's Boon. And just going to pass the turn back.
And with Always Watching,
Combo.
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 You can attack and pump itself. This little 1/1 is going to be attacking for 4 each turn.
Yep. I've been on the other side of that. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant.
Well, attacking for 5 each turn after Lieutenant comes down.
Yeah. Tragic Arrogance to draw this turn for Strodl.
Not real good here.
It's a high variance card.
Yeah.
No Pacifist, just going to pass the turn back. Leave an Oceanized Command up. Here's Thais Lieutenant. Resolves. Thais Lieutenant.
That Tragic Arrogance just got a little bit better.
It's a little better now, yeah. It's a little better. Time for beatdowns. Time for beatdowns. Gindy will attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the air. No pump with the Anointer Champions. Yeah, it looks like he's simply going to pass the turn back.
Yeah, and Courtland's considering using this command here. Wouldn't have been terrible to do that.
Yeah.
If he's using all of his mana this turn.
He will get a little tragic right now. He's going to have Gindy keep the Griff's Boon, the Thais Lieutenant. The rest of these things are going to die, which means Courtland will get back his Lambholt Pacifist.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty big swing there.
Yeah, not bad. An attack there for 2 is going to bring Gindy down to 7, and now he's untapping. He's drawing Dragon Hunter. He'll play Dragon Hunter. Count on the Lieutenant. And now get Griff's Boon back from the graveyard. It's an attack for 3 in the air. Strodl's going to fall down to 10. We head back Courtland's way. He'll draw. Going to get a great look.
Looks like it might have been another Tragic Arrogance.
Not as good now.
Well, still not terrible if things get out of control again.
Yep. There's an attack for 2. Gindy down to 5. Pacifist can't attack, of course.
Yeah, he's going to pass the turn so his Pacifist gets to transform.
Yep. It's Lambholt Butcher now. Thais Lieutenant? I don't think so, but we'll see. All right, there's Ochiai's Command. We'll see what modes he's selecting on this. It's obviously counter a creature. It might be gain life. Could be draw a card as well.
It all works here.
Yeah, draw a card it is. Oh, it looks like Thais Lieutenant did resolve.
Yeah, it looks like you went gain life, draw a card.
Oh, okay. A little strange. I guess the thought process is I have...
Yeah, maybe with the other Tragic Arrogance in his hand.
Yeah, I can wreck you that way.
Yeah, he gets to clean up his opponent's board again, leave him with a 1/1.
Oh, weird looking turn. See, Gindy even a little confused by that. Here's another Griff's Boon.
Players, your pairings for the next round are on pairings.starcitygames.com.
All right, Gindy's trying to figure out how many creatures can I attack with here. I like this because he doesn't really have much of a choice.
Yeah.
So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I believe it's 9.
Is it
1,
9?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, my apologies. Yep, 5 to 5. Transformation.
Yeah, the Pacifist is going back to his gentler ways.
Yep, no Butcher anymore. Now here's Tragic Arrogance again, I think. Yep. So you get to keep a Griff's Boon and a Thais Lieutenant. The rest of the things are going to die. I believe I'll take care of that. Yep, there goes Lambholt Pacifist. Here's an attack for 2. Gindy's going to fall down to 3. Follow-up is a Duskwatch Recruiter.
Yeah, let's get the guy that can attack out there.
I agree. Gindy with a big top deck, perhaps. Neither White Orchid. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, that was.
That's actually not bad. Get back the grip spoon. That's actually really good.
Yeah. And it's a first striker for combat.
Yeah, it's actually really good. Here's an attack for 3 in the air. Strodl's down to 2. He has a top deck?
Yeah, this is one of those weird games where you kind of shake your head and you're like, if you're Courtland, you don't know how you lost this game. You just completely annihilated your opponent's board twice with tragic arrogance.
Yeah.
You know? He didn't have an aggressive start. You were playing from ahead most of the game, and now you need a top deck to have a chance?
It's weird. And he does need a top deck. Let's see what he finds. 3-minute Inspector's not a top deck.
No, he can try to redraw here with the
Recruiter.
The Recruiter.
Yep. To find a Reflector Mage.
Exactly.
Yep.
Clear the way and then attack for the win.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's got to be wondering what went wrong this game. Maybe a little mismanagement of that Jamoka's command early on. I don't like the way he used Ojutai's command.
The Ojutai's command, it wasn't tricky.
Yeah.
The way he did it.
Yeah.
But it's possible he initially thought he was going to counter. You know, he tapped all his mana, he put it on the board, and he's like, wait, maybe I shouldn't counter that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he chose the other modes.
Yep.
It's easy to make mistakes like that. You just need to take a breath, play a little bit slower.
Yep. Got to figure out what you're trying to accomplish. So now Strodl's got to think about, okay, what can I draw to get myself out of this? Those outs are limited.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I think his only path here is to loot. Not loot.
Recruit.
But recruit, yes.
2, 3. Values Lieutenant.
Oh, that's one of them.
That's a winner.
Yeah.
That's a winner. Yep.
We forgot about that one.
Makes him into a 3-power creature. One of them will get through, and it'll deal 3 to Gindy, and that'll do it. So, Courtland Strodl.
Oof. Ooh, he had to get a little lucky, but he did.
He did. He's
Yeah.
going to tie it up against Charles Gindy. Bant Humans, White-Red Humans going to Game 3. However, and we've said this a couple times as well, White-Red Humans on the play for Game 3.
On the play is a whole different animal.
Yes, it is. And that's exactly where Gindy is going to be. Now, I don't expect much to change as far as Gindy's sideboarding is concerned. He doesn't need Reckless Bushwhacker or Needle Spires for this matchup so much. We did see the Silk Wrap, which is good here.
Yeah.
And I think the additional Grip Spoon is here as well. For Strodl, and we've said this, I feel, a couple times this weekend as well, Lambholt Pacifist on turn 2.
Yes.
Important.
Super important.
Really, really important to have in this matchup. So it's going to be pretty quick, I think. And we've just been informed by wonderful Nick Miller. No backup match this round. Looks like people are cleaning each other's clocks pretty fast right now.
I guess so.
I saw Jeff Hogan walking around, gave me a thumbs up, said he won his match.
Yeah, he had a little happy step to him.
Yeah, I saw him out on the phone, tweeting probably. A little social media action, letting people know that, yeah, I'm 100-0.
I'm the cock of the walk.
Yeah, I can't be beat this weekend with my Obs on Seasons Past deck. So one thing we do have for you guys at the conclusion of this round, however, is our metagame breakdown. Let you know of the 125 players that made Day 2, what they're playing. If you can't wait that long, however, it is on our StarCityGames.com coverage page. So head over that way if you want to learn that 30 green-white tokens decks.
If you want to see what red deck you can be playing right now, do not go there.
Yeah. 30 green-white tokens decks have made Day 2, about 25% of the Day 2 metagame. As these two shuffle up really quickly, we'll talk about Twitch.tv and how you can become a member of the feature match area. If you do so, you get your subscriber-only chat, custom emoticons, and badges for you to use. It's only $4.99 a month, but the most important feature takes place after round number 15, where you, yes you, get to decide the quarterfinals here this weekend. And it looks like, Craig,
It's a lot of power to be putting in their hands.
I know, but it looks like this quarterfinals is going to be a pretty tough selection.
Yeah.
A lot of good players can make the top 8.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. So twitch.tv/SCG Live is where you're watching this. We thank you guys for watching. You can join the feature match area today. Only $4.99 a month. Twitch subscription program as game number 3 between Charles Gindy and Courtland Strodl about to be underway. It's White-Red Humans. It's Bant Humans. For White-Red Humans, got 14 copies of that deck into day number 2. For Bant Humans, there are 15 copies of that. So between tokens and humans decks, those look to be the most popular strategies this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Good decks, though.
Yep.
Good decks.
You got to be able to beat these grindy mid-range creature decks if you want to do well in this format.
But we had a feeling coming this week, and we talked about it right at the top of the show yesterday and all the way throughout yesterday and some today as well. We had a feeling Green-White Tokens was going to be the deck to beat.
Yep.
Andrew Jessup 9-0 through day number 1 on top of the standings with Green-White Tokens. You got Jerry Thompson playing the deck and a bunch of other name players playing the deck this weekend, and 30 copies in a day number 2 of 125 players. It is, boy, is it good.
Yeah, one deck being 25% of the day 2 field is pretty significant.
Yeah. Looks like Strodl's going to take a mulligan, while Gindy, this is the worst feeling in the world. The Humans player keep.
Yeah.
Keep my opening hand.
Well, and you have to mulligan.
Yeah.
But
Horrible feeling.
probably a wise decision. You got to make sure you have something impactful on 2.
Yeah.
You know, and we saw how good Tragic Arrogance can be.
Yep. Gindy's got to hope that he doesn't have it. Strodl had it in game number 2.
Blew up all the enchantments, got a creature back from the Silk Grab.
Yeah, and Gindy almost won that game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He almost won that game. So we'll see if Strodl can find a better 6-card hand as he takes a look. And we'll take a look really quickly as he does shuffling up, because watching people shuffle is boring. So let's do an advertisement about StarCityGames.com t-shirts, because those are great. Those are fun. You can get one of those today, the official shirt of StarCityGames.com. Be like Tom Ross right there. Get a poly-blended shirt, screen printed in the United States.
I can't believe Star City can afford to pay these GQ models.
I know. The thing, we spare no expense.
Yeah.
No expense for our
Look
t-shirts.
at these two.
I know. Go to StarCityGames.com/apparel where you can get that Star City Games hoodie as well. We got some more cool stuff coming down the pipeline for Star City Games apparel as well that I think people are going to be interested in next couple of months.
The StarCityGames.com leisure suit.
Oof.
That's in the works?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
StarCityGames.com hair gel
Ooh.
that Brad Nelson and Todd Anderson use for their Versus videos. StarCityGames.com hair dye that Jerry Thompson has been known to use when his hair looks ridiculous.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. StarCityGames.com balding product, which Ross Merriam has been using quite a bit. That's low.
Wow.
See, that's low. That's low. But I know Ross is listening.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to fire a text at me now.
Well, he actually shouldn't. He shouldn't have even acknowledged that.
No? See, I fire at Ross because Ross wants the Cavs to lose. That's why. It's personal.
Okay, so he's barely a person to you.
It's personal. This is a beating.
This is the start.
This is a beating. I looked away from the screen for like 2 seconds
Yeah,
to make fun of Ross.
You were just having a ball talking about hair gel and balding friends.
Yeah, and now Courtland is dead. Courtland is actually just dead. The game is over. Gindy started off with a Town Gossipmonger, then he played a Kithnian and a 3-man Inspector, got a Clue, transformed his Gossipmonger and Incited Rabble. Courtland played a Pacifist because it's the best card you can play on turn 2. It got Silk Wrapped, and now he's dead.
Yep. Wrap it up.
That's about it. We can cut to commercial break whenever you guys are ready. Because game's over. He does have a Plains for his 3rd land. Jamoka's command, it appears. I see a Knight of the White Orchid over there as well, I think. But his lands are lined up a little bit weird where he can't actually get the most out of his Knight of the White Orchid right now.
Yep. That's one of the issues with this deck. They don't even deploy the creature lands in their decks.
Yeah, I know. There is Knight of the White Orchid looking to play a little defense.
You know, they've cut the Sylvan Advocates. They've cut the creature lands.
Of course Gindy has a thought he's a 10. Why wouldn't he? How do you think he's 10-1? Activated his Gideon first because he's really smart. Beat downs.
Average draw.
Definitely average. Have the black die and Gideon be a 5 and the white die be the 1. So he finds some comments on the other creatures. So it's an attack for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's blocking to take place.
Yeah, this is just bonkers. Turn 3, he's got to be chump blocking with its 2/2 first striker.
Yep.
Can't even trade with something.
Yeah, just completely absurd. So you see Gideon with 5 counters there, 1+1/+1 counter. Strodl will draw. Evolving Wilds, there's a Plains. What's this? Knight of the White Orchid. With Jamoka's command at the ready. Okay. He's fighting back. Pass. He can get his Lambo Pacifist back? Okay. Maybe this isn't over.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe it is.
Draw. 3-man Inspector.
Looked like a declaration in stone.
I think he does have one. Gonna start with the Knight.
Oh, his Knight is so much better.
Yeah. Trigger on the stack. 2 of them, in fact.
Yeah, Courtland might be interested in fighting the Lieutenant here.
You say fight, sack, and enchantment?
Yeah.
Yep, get your pacifist back. Okie dokie. Now Knight. Get a basic Plains. And probably Declaration of Stone, that pacifist.
Sure.
Coming to the red zone.
Just keep, yeah.
Keep cranking it up.
Yeah, Courtland had a really strong turn.
The
Not
best,
close, yeah.
Probably the best turn he could have, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, his knight could have been a pacifist instead.
I
That
suppose.
would have been stronger, but it's
Actually, if
probably couldn't have even cast both.
if it was a pacifist, then both of them would die.
Oh, that's true. They yeah. Yeah, it's just,
They would both be dead. Oh, the knight's going to have to chump block.
this is absurd.
Yeah, the humans deck, when it's cooking, I don't feel like anything can beat it.
Well, and like even a Tragic Arrogance here would do nothing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good at all. And that concludes draw card. No more. Charles Gindy going to win this match here over Courtland Strodl.
Oh.
2-1. White-red humans cooking all over Bant humans. 11-1 is the Pro Tour Hollywood champion, Charles Gindy. Impressive stuff.
Do not want to be on the draw against that deck.
No, you don't. No, you don't.